Hello, welcome to part 1 of our Katarina Basics Guide. Reminder that this is game version 4.2. This first part will be essential tools, which will include essential moves, grabs, punishers, and basic combos. In part 2, we'll talk about common game plan elements and recommend some players to watch, as well as cap it off with a character summary. For beginners, note the resource links in the video description below. I've included several you should check out. Be sure to at least learn notation so that you can follow along easier. With that, let's talk about Tekken's resident right kick specialist. Not that they're super complicated for Katarina, but we'll save Harrier and full crouch while standing for part 2. Note that her rage drive is a Harrier move, so you won't see it here in essential moves like you normally would, although it is definitely essential. Kat has a mostly standard 1-2 along with a classic PK combo, but her 1-1 is where she can really dial up some pressure. You have a pseudo mix up with it since 1-1-2 is a whopping +7 on block, so great for setups, along with +9 on hit and a launch on counter hit, but it is duckable. If they duck though, you have both 1-1-1 and 1-1-3, which both end with safe chunky mids, or you can go for broke with 1-1-4, a very unsafe mid launcher. Or you have 1-1 forward to go into Harrier. Harrier has some fast options, so depending on how they're responding, you can do some real damage. So it's not uncommon at all for Kat players to use 1-1 for their primary jab harass and then occasionally make reads with the follow-ups. The standing 3 string is an I-14 mid poke string. The first 2 hits are safe, but negative enough that you can't really do anything stopping there. However, most players will do 3-3-3 and either confirm the last 2 hits or go to Harrier and try to get something going that way. The whole string is a natural combo, so if you land it, it's really good damage and +4, and the only real risk is finishing the string without confirming it, which you shouldn't be doing anyway. So it's fast, gives good damage, and comes with little risk. Great string. Standing 4 is an I-11 counter hit launcher. Kat's Magic 4 is unfortunately punishable on block, however it's still really strong thanks to her long legs and the string cover she has with it. Like her 3, she can go to Harrier after 4-4-4, and although the third hit is high, it does jail. Since you can convert a counter hit juggle from practically any point in the string, using 4-4-4 is very common. Forward 3 is an I-24 low crushing power mid, +1 on block, +5 on hit, and a launch on counter hit, forces crouch as well. Speed is definitely an issue, but it's otherwise a decent pressure tool when things start to slow down. Forward 1+2 is an I-23 power high, +1 on block, knockdown on both normal and counter hit. A bit more reliable reward than forward 3, but in return it's duckable, so use wisely. Forward 3+4 is an I-24 power crush, -13 on block. Aside from range, not a great power crush, but it's her only power crush, so it's notable for that reason. Down forward 1 is a safe I-13 mid poke, mostly generic on the first hit, but she has down forward 1-1, which is a natural combo mid-high that can also go to Harrier. So despite being duckable on block, down forward 1-1 to Harrier is still really dangerous on hit. Again, use wisely, but spam down forward 1 as much as possible. Down forward 2 is a safe I-17 mid poke, 2 natural combo enders. Down forward 2-2 is your unsafe knockdown splatting mid. Down forward 2-4 is your safe, +1 actually, spinning high. The spin state on down forward 2-4 does allow a splat too. Solid string and down forward 2-2 is particularly notable since it's only -10, so you won't get killed too hard for it on block. Down forward 4 is a safe I-15 counter hit launching knee, really abusable, so abuse it. Down forward 3+4 is an I-25 long range high crushing power low, +1 on hit, knockdown on counter hit for a free follow-up, -14 on block, which honestly isn't bad for a power low like this. Speed is still an issue, so as we've already said a few times, use it wisely. Down 1 is a safe I-17 power mid, forces crouch, +3 on hit, knockdown on counter hit. Nothing flashy, just a nice simple tool. Down 2 is an I-20 counter hit launching mid, -11 unless you go to Harrier, then it's +3. That's normally what you'll see, just be mindful again to really make sure that you have a solid read on how your opponent responds to Harrier, but still really useful for pressure once you have those reads going. Generic toe kick, always useful as a quick high crushing poke with incredible tracking to control the pace of the match. Again, her reach is above average, making her toe kick even better. She has very few low pokes, so don't feel bad if you overuse this. Back 1 is a safe I-14 mid poke, 3 options to follow up. Back 1 forward goes to Harrier at +3 on block, massive +14G on hit, and on counter hit, Harrier 1 is actually guaranteed. Back 1-2 is a safe natural combo mid-mid option. Back 1-1 is an unsafe NCC knockdown option. Incredible string with lots of versatility. The Harrier transition happens really fast since back 1 itself is so fast, so overall just a great tool. Back 3+4 is an evasive, rangy, double mid sway back attack. Thanks to some late stage buffs, this has become a remarkable move. Does chunky damage, can splat, and has decent tracking. Although it's -14, the pushback, especially if you space it, is such that a ton of characters cannot punish this properly. The only ones that can do so consistently will be characters like Steve or Armor King, so you can get a lot of mileage out of it. Cat's hopkick is a little weird in that although up forward 4 is an I-15 mid, it doesn't launch. Instead, it goes into a longer string, the second hit of which is a bound, which gets you your juggle. So up forward 4-4 is your hopkick combo, as it were. Still, her up forward 4 has crazy range, so it's a very reliable punisher. The remainder of the string is mostly gimmicky, very similar to her standing 4 options. Use at your own peril. Speaking of reliable launchers, forward 4-2-4 is an exceptional I-12 launcher. It is a double high, so there is a duck risk, but it's safe on block. The speed, though, is what makes it strong, so practice that forward input to make sure you can bring this into play. You want your opponent to be incredibly scared to whiff anywhere near you. Forward 4-3 is a safe I-24 low crushing power mid, counter hit launch. Again, nothing fancy, just another power mid to add to your arsenal. Forward 4 is an I-17 homing power mid, knockdown splat on hit, -13 on block but with pushback, and since the range is crazy, it's very easy to space to make it even safer. Cat is limited with her homing tools, but this is a strong option, so you'll be using it a bit. No real grab game for Katarina, unfortunately. She only has one command grab, a 1+2 break, and her 2 normals. On hit, the command grab can splat and the normals give good oki, but you'll be hard pressed to land them on even mediocre breakers. And unfortunately, they don't side switch on break or anything, so you can't even use them that way. You'll be mostly staying away from grabs with Katarina. This brings us to the end of part 1. You should now know all the basic tools that you need to get started and play some matches. In part 2, we'll talk more about other aspects of Cat's gameplay and to help put it all together. Expect that here in a couple of days. And with that, thanks for checking out this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications here on YouTube so that you get alerted when a new video drops. Twitch and Twitter links are also down below. Lastly, huge thank you to our patrons. The more support we have, the more resources we can devote to channel content. So again, I can't thank everyone enough for considering supporting the Patreon. Stay safe, everyone, and we'll catch you next time.